Hello and good morning, good afternoon and good evening to you. Don't know if it's you. Hope you're today. Hope you're feeling grand and all's well in your world. It is my great pleasure to today bring you this guitar that has been very kindly lent to me by my very good friend Richard. Thank you, Richard, for letting me for the loan of this guitar and the ability to bring it to all you lovely people out there in YouTube land. This is a 1956 Gibson ES140, everybody. All original apart from the machine heads. That resonated in that. Anyway, I thought instead of just kind of doing a straightforward demo, you know, this is the sound of a P90 and this and that, I thought I'd do a close-up vid as well as. So at the end of the video I'm going to do some playing, but first off I'm going to give you a bit of a run around the guitar, so to say. My friend Richard does have the scratch plate, the tortoiseshell scratch plate, but it's not on it at this point in time, and it really shows off the guitar without the scratch plate on, so that's why that's not here. But yeah, this guitar is in amazing condition. It's got some amazing checking lines all over it, but it's in great condition, and that pickup is evil, which you will hear later on. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to a close-up of this guitar. I say, it's absolutely amazing. So yes, let's do that. Okay, so starting at the headstock. Hopefully you can already see the checking lines, everybody. Like I say, the machine heads aren't original, they have been replaced. When my friend Richard got it out, it had Shayla machine heads on it. But he bought these reissue Cluson Deluxe, they're reproductions of the ones that would have been on it originally. I'll show you the back in a minute. But this is a headstock, nice and simple. You got the cool Gibson bell truss rod cover there, lovely gold Gibson logo. Original bone nut, everybody. It's a really cool. It's just a really cool headstock. It's just really simple. There's no there's nothing to it really. It's just very simple. Yes, there we go, everybody. There you can hopefully see the checking lines, and there's the Gibson logo. But you can kind of see it. I'm trying to get it in the light so you could kind of see it, but so you can see the headstocks. Well, the entire guitar is just heavily checked, like a lot of these old Gibsons are. They're all very kind of high worn out. You got some wear on the headstock as well, some chips and dents. It's not like mint condition, I've got to say, but it does show some some proper wear, and you can see where they've turned the machine heads. Looks like with a peg winder, it could be somebody's fingernails. And again, more chips and dints and dents. Usual honest wear, so to say. Okay, so yeah, let's turn it over, show you the back of the headstock, show you the reproduction tuners. Okay, so these are the reproduction tuners. You can see it's just 6 in a line, basically Clusons, but they're all joined together, and they just look right. I've been very lucky. I've played another one of these ES140s. It was a thin liner. This is actually a bigger bodied, but it had the original machine heads, and these the other one did, and yeah, these are what it would originally come with. Let me show you some of the wear around the top of the headstock. As you can see, there's just chips, dints and dents around the edges where it's just worn. Around the sides, hopefully you can kind of see that, and again around the other sides. Oh, it's a bit dark there, sorry, that was my fault. And again, I don't know if you'll be able to see, fingers crossed, if I can get the light right, yeah. You can see all the checking lines again on the headstock. Okay, so let's, without further ado, let's move on to the neck. Well, I'll show you the back of the neck first, actually, because the checking on the back of the neck is super cool, so let's do that. Okay, so the back of this guitar's neck looks like it's got veins. As you can see, it's really cool. Some of the checking is just amazing on some of these old guitars. It's amazing. And it's just gets really dark. The finish does down the bottom end, but the checking kind of almost vanishes. But you can see in the light there, it's still there. But yeah, it came out. Ooh, that came out quite well actually. I'm quite impressed with that. I didn't think a camera was going to pick that up, but I say with the light from a window, that's actually come out better than I thought. But it really does like veins. It's really cool. And also, one thing to say, it's a 3/4 size neck. It's really tiny. And I'll show you the fretboard in a minute. Oh yeah, another thing it isn't original is this strap button has been added as well. They wouldn't have had that one originally. But I hope you can kind of see the checking here. There we go. It's just super cool. And then you get into the checking on the body as well, which I'll get to when we get there. But It's just so cool. The patterns this guitar has on it with the checking is just super cool. Okay, so let me show you the fretboard, and I'll show you kind of the thickness of the neck as well, if I can get that. Okay, so like I say, we've got a bone nut up there. Does show a little bit of play wear. You can kind of see there's some dints and some dints and dents in the fretboard where people's fingers have been over the years. They'll come around here. Yeah, there. You can kind of see it just there. Really, really nice rosewood board. It's got these kind of like pearl inlays. All these old kind of rosewoods, they're really dark, but they have this kind of like reddish, almost reddish tinge in the light. Like the 62 Strat is the same. It's got this kind of reddish kind of tinge to it. And it's very, very nice. As you can see, it's, well, where are we? 18, 90. They've got 19 frets. So yeah, it's very short scale. And it is tiny, but it's so playable. It's ridiculously playable, this guitar. And it's everyone I've shown this guitar to since borrowing it from my friend Richard has said, this is a guitar that you just love to have in your front room on a stand that you can just go to anytime you want it and just pick up and just like, mess around on, because it's just so easy to play, so comfy to play. And it just feels so nice. And you just sit for hours and just mess around on it. It's really, really cool. So that's the fretboard. Like I say, let me see if we can get close on the pearl inlays. Yeah, here's the pearl inlays, everybody. Rather nice, aren't they? Yes, I think you'll agree. Really like the 9th fret one. That's really nice. It's got this kind of weird dark line going through it. Anyway, oh yeah, by the way, these are the original frets. It hasn't been refretted. There's no sign of a chipping or anything like that, or it been refretted. These are definitely the original frets, which is really cool. And there's still a lot of life left in them. In all fairness, though, this guitar doesn't look like it's been played a great deal in its life at all. It's very, it's been looked after, and it doesn't strike me as a guitar that's been played a great deal. Anyway, let me show you. Let me try and show you the thickness of the neck. 'Cause it's a really, really slim neck. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to kind of see. It looks quite fat, but it's not. It's strange, actually. It's coming out looking like an absolute baseball bat, but it's actually, I mean, if I put my hand round it, so to say, you can kind of see it's very, very slim. It's not a baseball bat at all. And because it's 3/4, you can see it's really small. So it looks a lot fatter than it is, actually. It's quite strange how it's come out on camera. But I'll say, if I put my hand around it, if I do like an E chord, like you can kind of see it's very, I can get my thumb right over the top. It's very, very slim. And actually, if we go back up here with headstock, you can see more of the wear, especially there. I don't know what happened there. It's pretty drastic. Okay, so this is the underside of the neck. I've got to say, there's no particular sign of any mass play wear, apart from the first fret there, where it's worn a bit. But like I say, this guitar hasn't been played a great deal. I've got to say, the neck colour's coming out really nicely. I didn't expect it to come out that well, but yeah, so that's the underside of the neck. Like I say, there's not much to show really, no real signs of wear apart from up there on the first fret. Headstock again, you've got some more wear that you can kind of see. You can also see the checking lines as well. So yeah, so let's move on to the body now. Okie dokie, so here's the body, everybody. It's coming out a lot more, well no, it's coming out properly. You can kind of see the flames in the top. Looks amazing. I was a bit worried that maybe wasn't going to come out, but there it is. There's the single dog ear P90. You can see the holes for the scratch plate where it would fit, and you can see there's a line there. Excuse me, where the scratch plate's always been. Like I say, it's not on at this point in time. It does look a bit. It shows it up a bit more with the scratch plate not being there. Original wooden bridge there. The intonation's amazing on this guitar, even with this like bog standard bridge. But it's just a case of moving it till it's in the right place. But with the angle, the intonation's actually bob on with this guitar. It's really cool. Original trapeze bridge there, really worn, really kind of like, really tarnished metal now. Single tone, single volume. These are mounted really, really high, and I like that. And because they're mounted really high, you don't actually stab yourself on these knob markers either, which is really nice. You don't actually go anywhere near them, which is very, very cool. Because some Gibson guitars, you can twist that and you can actually like stab yourself with these markers, which is painful. But you can see that flamey kind of finish. It just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I say, especially if you come around a bit more into the light, you can kind of see it a little bit more. It just really kind of like sticks out and pokes out. So let me be close with these dials and show you how high they are. So you can see they are mounted extremely high, which is kind of like an old Gibson thing to do. Quite a lot of old Gibsons I've seen, especially hollow bodies, have their dials mounted really high. And again, it really does help for when you're turning them, because as I was saying, you don't get stabbed, which is always a pleasant experience when you're not getting stabbed by the markers, which hurts. Okay, so that's the top. Let me show you something. Let me see if I can pick up some of the check. Okay, hopefully you can kind of see it. I'm trying to kind of catch it in the light from the window there, but you can kind of see the guitar is heavily checked. If I come back, you can kind of see it just stretches the entire guitar. There we go. I was trying to use the light from a window to kind of show you. But yeah, it's heavily checked all over the place. Like, like all of these old Gibsons, and well, even Fenders to an extent. But I've got to say, Fenders don't check as much as old Gibsons. I've got to say, it's very strange. But oh, there we go. You can see on the lower horn there's loads of checking. And there's the original dog ear P90 there, which is an absolute beast, and I love it to bits. And yeah, I don't think this guitar will be going back. I think I'll keep it. Close up the bridge quickly. Really nice. Everything I say right at this point in time is resonating in the guitar. There's the trapeze. There's the dials again. So let me show you the checking lines on the side. I don't know if I'll be able to pick them up, but okay. So on the side, like I say, you can see the checking lines are really close to. Hopefully you can kind of see. I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. Sorry, it might be a bit glary, but I'm really trying to show you the checking lines. As I say, they're really close together on the side, like ridiculously closer together, and then you can kind of get them on the top out there. The binding has gone this really nice kind of orange colour, where all the dye used for the top has kind of like sunk into it, and it's just really cool. It's really orangey, like really kind of like nicotine-y. And then you get a bit here where it isn't, and I'm guessing that's where it's kind of like rubbed on whoever played it. That's where they kind of like rubbed up against the guitar, madam, and that's kind of where it stayed white, so to say. And you get more checking in the lower horn there, and then got a bit of damage here on the bottom, some scratches and scrapes. That's where the scratch plate connects. And again, same kind of deal. You can see all the checking again. It's really close together. And there's the jack socket. Oh yeah, and the original strap button on the bottom end there, which is that's the original one. The one here has been added at some point, and they didn't quite get it centre. It's kind of off. Yeah, well, that brings me nice and neatly into the back of the guitar. So let's look at the back. Okay, so as you can tell by now, this guitar is in great condition, and you can really see the contour of the top. If I use kind of a window light, you can kind of see how it warps. That's, the bow. It picks up the bow of the back of the guitar, which is really cool. And the back of the guitar has got this cool kind of weird kind of teeth kind of pattern there, which is kind of very distinctive on this guitar. So if it was ever to get stolen or robbed, you could have that as a kind of an identifying mark, so to say. But again, it's, I wouldn't say that the back is well, yeah, it's still very checked up, but I can't really it's not picking it up. Let me see if I can get that in a minute. But the back of the guitar is really nice. It's in really good condition. There's a little bit of play where there you can kind of see the dents, hopefully, and again in using the window light as a kind of like a marker. And then again over here you can kind of see the carve of the back. Really nice. Let me see if I can pick up some of the checking. Okay, so the checking on the back is really quite hard to film actually, but there it is. And in all fairness, in the wrong light, it's kind of hard to see. The back doesn't actually look checked until you actually tip it into the light, and then it really springs out at you. And hopefully you can kind of see, again, using the window as kind of like a reference, it kind of warps, and you got all those kind of really cool kind of checking lines. Yeah, that's about as close as I can get, I think. But you can kind of, so if I go back to the dark, they're my fingerprints. But there we go. There it goes. It popped out a bit there. There we go. So yeah, the back is really checked as well. The whole guitar's checked. The whole guitar is checked to the max. I'm not sure. Yep, there we go. I love this bit of checking here around the kind of the base of the headstock. It's just, I don't know. There's something very cool about checking. What do you think, people of the tube? Is checking cool or is it not cool? I think it's rather cool myself. So yeah, so that's that really, pretty much. Like I said, I do love the checking on the neck. It looks like it's got veins. It's really, really cool. But yeah, it's a gorgeous guitar. It's an absolutely gorgeous guitar, this, and I can't thank my friend Richard enough for loaning me it. And again, to be quiet phone, and to bring it to you people as well. I just wish you were here to play it because you would fall in love with it, like everyone who has played it so far has done. Everybody who's played this guitar since I've borrowed it has gone, I want this. Can I have this? Can we just kind of like, you know, have this guitar forever? I'd have to clone it. There's so many people want it, and it is gorgeous. And I say, you can see it just looks stunning. It plays stunning. Intonation is great. The pickup is great. The volume and the tone feel great. It just hasn't been played a great deal. And normally, vintage guitars that haven't been played a lot, should I say. My experience with that is normally they're not very good, and that's the reason why they haven't been played, is they're not actually very good. But there is occasions, this being one, where vintage guitars are just, even at a mint condition, are amazing. Absolutely amazing. And like I say, so without further ado, let's go plug it in and let me show you this monster pickup. I'm just going to like do some bluesy stuff and I might do a slide jam actually, because this guitar is just awesome. It's got an awesome slide tone, with that neck P90. It's great. So yeah, let's go and plug it in. Let me show you what it sounds like, because it is immense. Okay, so got the Gibson plugged in. I'm using the Flexi today. OD1. Gain is at half, bass, middle, treble, contour, all at 0. Volume was all the way up on 10. I've got a bit of reverb, and I'm in open G. And let's play some slide. Also, I'm going to be using a Green Carrot Pedals fuzz, prototype fuzz. It's called the Chili Fuzz that have been sent, and you'll see more of that very soon. But I'm going to use that today and try and channel some Jack White-esque kind of fuzz tones. So let's see what happens. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is a blues machine. Absolute blues machine. I say I can't thank my friend Richard enough. Can't thank you all enough for watching. And I'll see you again for Q&A Wednesday. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, everybody. Goodbye now. See you later.